Good afternoon, dear friends. Now today we're going to be talking about long-term rentals in Tenerife. Now somebody contacted me the other day about this and I thought, well, how about I just do a little blog on my experience of renting here in Tenerife. Now last year, 2019, new laws were brought into place to protect the tenant a little bit better. They don't really affect short-term or holiday rentals, but they do affect long-term rentals. So the main thing that will shock anybody when they try to rent here in Tenerife is that you have to pay the estate agent fee, which is the equivalent normally of a month's rent. You don't have to pay it if the landlord is a legal entity, if it's a company, basically. For a while I thought this cannot be legal. This cannot be legal because it's such a big amount of money just to give somebody for showing you around a house for 5 minutes. When you are used to renting in the UK, that can seem absolutely outrageous, and I have to say that I was outraged when I realized we were going to have to pay not only the deposit, the month in advance, but on top of that also an estate agent fee. It can really add up. So first things first, usually when you're renting a long-term property, you will have to pay, first of all, a month's deposit. The landlord is entitled to ask you for at least a month's deposit. He or she can only ask for a maximum of 2 months deposit. He can't ask you any more than that. Secondly, they will ask you for a month in advance. Sometimes they ask you for 2 months in advance. They also ask for the current month, of course, and then the fee, the estate agent fee, if you go through an estate agent fee. So sometimes that can be 5 months worth of rent as a down payment, which is a lot of money. So if you can go through directly with the owner and avoid the estate agent fee, then that is even better. But as I say, I initially thought that this must be illegal. It's actually legal. It's only illegal if the landlord is a company. Right, so that's the estate agent fees out the way. The other main thing that changed is that the tenant is legally entitled to extend their tenancy contract agreement to a minimum of 5 years. It used to be 3 years. In other words, your landlord cannot kick you out legally before 5 years if you don't want to. If it's a company, if the landlord is a company, then that's extended to 7 years. So that's the other main thing. So if you rent a place for a year or more as your contract, you are entitled as well, it's your right to break that contract after a minimum of 6 months. This is what we did with our first property, is that we did a 1-year contract, but we needed to get out after 6 months because lockdown happened, and actually so it was around 7 months, because you still need to give your 4-week notice. So it was around 7 months that we actually left our property, and that was completely within our rights to do that, so we got our full deposit back and everything like that. So if you're not going through an estate agent, if you can possibly avoid that at all, there's lots of sort of classified websites and just Facebook pages where you can go directly to the owner and avoid all those fees. So the two that I tend to use are idealista.com, which I'll leave the link for below, and the other one is milanuncio.com, or Milanuncio if you are from the Canary Islands, because they don't pronounce the th like they do on mainland Spain. That's the same website, I'm just pronouncing it differently. So you can choose there whether you go through an estate agent or directly with the owner. They are Profesional, which are the estate agents, and Particular, which are the individuals that you'll be dealing with. We found a place recently for €800, and we were told by the estate agent after 1 year this will then rise back to €1,000 a month. Now, I know that in normal circumstances that's completely illegal, because you can't bring up a rental by that amount. Rentals can only rise with the CPI, so you're talking about really small percentages at a time. So everything else is what you would sort of expect within a renting experience. I've pointed out the things that really are different to the UK, but everything else, I'll leave links that you can look at all the details of the tenants' rights and the landlord's rights. But everything else is sort of obvious, you know, what's expected of the tenant, what's expected of the landlord. One more little tip: make sure you have WhatsApp installed on your phone, because everybody communicates here on WhatsApp. Everybody. All the estate agents, everyone. And if you're worried as well about being able to speak Spanish, I think everybody knows that everyone here can speak English, because they've all been well educated to speak English, whereas we all are useless and none of us can speak Spanish at all. I blame it, what do I blame it on? Our education system in the UK. Yeah, that's a brand new subject to start talking about. Right then, folks, I hope you found this useful, and I shall speak to you all soon at the next one. Bye bye then.